sunk in yet that I'm going to Tokyo. It's still a surreal feeling and experience and everything. I'm so grateful to be competing for Team USA and just representing Ohio, Northeast Ohio, and everybody in the country. It was really a great feeling. I started crying as I was walking into the ring. They kind of showed it on TV at the time, but it was really a great feeling, and just to have myself know that I'm on the team and this last throw it doesn't really matter. It was just a great experience, and to be able to share it with my coach and Joe, and then my family were up in the stands. It was really awesome. It's been a whirlwind of media, practicing. We've been trying to go practice at the hottest times every day because it's supposed to be 100 something when we're in Tokyo. They actually made ice vests for us to wear outside at practice to make sure we don't overheat. So it's just been a whirlwind of everything. And then I'm also in 2 classes at Ohio State University, and it's just been all of that accumulating on top of each other. It's been a lot, but luckily I'm back on the right sleep schedule now. I definitely think I can keep this going. My next 2 big collegiate goals are to break the indoor and outdoor record, and then hopefully I'll be nominated for the Bowerman, which would be an amazing honor, and just to keep continuing success and proving to everybody that throwing is a really big sport and a lot of people can continue to succeed in it. At my elementary school, St. Raphael in Bay Village, we used to have this thing where if you did every single event on the track, you would get a sweatshirt. And it was my weekend for shot put to test it out and hopefully get my sweatshirt. And I guess I was pretty good for an elementary kid, and they said I should stick with it. And then once I was a sophomore in high school, I really started taking it seriously and actually liking the sport and developing my throw and all the little details that go on behind the scene. All the little details that go behind the scenes, a lot of people don't realize that in shot put, you're not just throwing with your arm, you're actually using a lot of your legs and hip, and then your arm's kind of just the extra little push at the end. So I love all the little details that go into it, and then also I love the strength aspect of it. So I will lift at Ohio State 5 times a week in the beginning of the school year, and then going into season we'll start lifting 2 to 3 times depending on what part of the season it is. So all of those aspects are just really what makes me love the sport. It's been really encouraging to have all of my family and friends just reach out to me after I threw at the trials or I threw the pitch at the Indians game on July 8th, and to have everybody come out there. I think there was 120 people who came out from from my family and friends and just close relatives and everything. Everybody just came out to support me, and it was really awesome to have so many people there and just so many people messaging me to say good luck or check in how my day was. It feels great having all the support. It's definitely really encouraging to hear all of these stories about people having no idea what shot put is, but since I'm from Cleveland, specifically watching it for me, it's really amazing, and it brings a lot of awareness to the sport and what athletes are doing within it, and it highlights everybody in the track program. So that's awesome. But to have the support of many people from Cleveland and just people who I've never met before is really awesome, and I am so grateful for it. The way I describe shot put is you have about a 9-pound metal ball, which is a little bit less than a paint gallon, on your neck in a steel little bowl, and then you spin in a circle and try and throw it between two sector lines, and you throw it as far as possible. So that's the way I describe it. I don't know if that's a good description of it or not, because there's so many details that go on behind the scenes, but the most basic way to throw it. So when I tell people I qualified for the Olympics, I kind of like go on the little tangent of we leave the 24th, I come back the 3rd because I have to, the Tokyo government's kicking us out 48 hours after we compete. So I have to leave almost immediately after I compete, and we're not allowed to go watch any of the other athlete compete, but this is kind of like the lamest Olympics to qualify for. Even though it's still the Olympics, I always finish with that. It's still the Olympics, but it's just one of the things that happens when you're in a pandemic and everything. I understand like that they have like close to 5% of their population vaccinated, so obviously that's going to be a determining factor on whether or not fans can come in. So it's a little heartbreaking not to have my family there, but luckily Paris is only 3 years away. Going into our competition in Tokyo, my coach and I have been talking a lot about mindset and how we're going to approach the competition. And from what we've been like talking about this past week, we've kind of came to the conclusion that we're going to focus on competing with everybody and putting out my best throw. So I'm not going to go in there and just try and take safe throws. We're going to go put together what we've been working on all year, and then my body's going to be in the right spot and my mindset's going to be in the right spot. So everything's just going to come together and we're going to create the perfect throw for me. That might look different to somebody else, but obviously, like for me, it's just going to be really focusing on my form and how I throw the ball. I actually don't envision the medal, because if I put, sometimes when I put too many expectations on myself, I stress myself out unnecessarily. So when I'm going to bed, what I'll do is I'll visualize my throw from my perspective. So if I know what the stadium looks like, I'll visualize what I'll see going through the throw. So what I see in the back of the ring, in the front of the ring, during all different positions of it, just so I create that sense of comfort and relaxation, because I know what I'm supposed to do and what's expected from those positions and competition. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing a little bit of Tokyo in our bus rides to and from the training facility. I think I've never been to Japan, so I think it's going to be a great experience for me to see a little bit of their culture and country. So I'm excited for that. And then I'm also excited, we have USA Athlete Training Hall, so I'm excited to see like Kevin Love and some other Cleveland people there. So that'll be awesome. It's been a really great experience. My first 2 years there, I wasn't really super into throwing. I liked being on the team, but I wasn't super dedicated to the sport and becoming better. So my sophomore year, I was talking with Coach Ashley Kovacs on the phone, and she was kind of telling me, if you dedicate yourself to the sport and really revolve your lifestyle around track, then I think you could be a great thrower. So from that point on, I kind of switched my gears and really focused on improving myself in the weight room, academically, mentally, and my technique within the throw. So through that, I really found like my love again for shot put, and continued to get better every meet and just really improve myself in the throw. So that was really a great experience.